What do you do when some hungry guys are putting your lift kit on your Jeep? You feed them pizza, of course. Hey everybody, welcome back to Four Low Rocks. Thanks for watching. Today we're at San Diego Off-Road and Custom, and I'm here with Alejandro of the San Diego Jeep Club. Alejandro, you want to tell us what we're doing today? It's your beautiful red Jeep in the background there.
Absolutely, just really excited. We're lifting our Jeep. It's going to be a 3.5-inch rock crawler install today. Full kit. Just really excited to see it grow.
Congratulations. I've been out with Alejandro on a couple of runs, and he's put that stock JL through its paces, but I think the new capability is really going to pay him off on the trail in the near future. So stick around, check out the video, check out the lift kit. It'll be a little bit different from what I did on my Jeep, but to give you an example of what's available and out there on the market. Congratulations, Alejandro.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to a San Diego Jeep Club Garage Day. We're helping Alejandro install a full rock crawler 3.5-inch lift kit on his 2018 JLUR. He purchased the full kit that includes all 8 control arms, both front and rear track bars, springs, sway bar end links, and also a full set of Falcon shocks and a Falcon steering damper. In the interest of full disclosure on this video, this is not intended to be an instructional video on how to install this kit. Rather, this is a summary of the support given to a club member during a club garage day. Of course, with the installation of any lift kit, the removal of the stock parts is the first thing to accomplish. We were lucky as we had the use of a garage with a lift, and therefore the team had easy access to the undercarriage and made quick work of getting it in the air and removing the wheels and tires. In fact, Alejandro later commented that he hadn't even finished greeting everyone when he turned around to find the Jeep in the air and the wheels and tires removed. We had a good-sized team. The work started on the rear of the Jeep but then proceeded on both ends at the same time. The brake lines need to be temporarily released from their mounting points on the frame, and the sway bar end links are rather easy to remove. Then it is important to use axle jacks before removing the shocks to ensure the axle doesn't fall too far and damage the lines and other parts. The track bar, shocks, and finally the springs can then be removed. Since Alejandro also purchased a new steering dampener, now is a good time in the sequence to remove the old one and install the new Falcon unit. Once all of the old stock parts have been removed, it's time to start swapping out the control arms. Ensure they are all adjusted to the proper length per the kit instructions. It is best not to remove them all at the same time, but better to replace them either one at a time or in pairs. It is also probably best, in order to preserve proper geometry, to first replace the upper pair of control arms and torquing them to spec, then doing the lower control arms after the uppers have been fitted. This is done both front and rear. On this rock crawler kit, the instructions call for notching the axle side lower control arm mounts for access to the grease fittings. Here Mike is making that modification using a hole saw, and note the use of spray paint to cover the bare metal. Always a good practice to control rust and corrosion. As stated earlier, getting the measurements right on the front control arms is paramount to get the proper caster into the front end. Caster helps control wobble in the front end and also helps bring back the natural steering centering tendency that is reduced by lifting and changing the geometry of the suspension with respect to the frame and the steering box. The springs can then be set on their perches and squeezed into place, followed by shocks and sway bar end links. In the rear, the new track bar attachment bracket is placed on the stock mount to correct for the geometry created by the lifted ride height. At this point, the suspension will be at an extended ride height, so the track bars, as measured to length, may not fit on the first try. It is good to bolt them and torque them to spec on the frame side only. This is also a good time to replace the brake hangers or use extenders following the kit's instructions. On this kit, the crew found a little bit of interference on the front track bar axle side mount, so out came the angle grinder. And wow, what a show that was. Fitting all of the new parts to the rear of the Jeep is very similar to doing the front. Let's watch the crew in action.
It's good. Playing around. Tell me when to pull it. Good. I'm not sure. No, I thought you actually knew the number.
This is a raised track. Since you're lifting your Jeep 3.5 inches, your rear track bar has to lift 6 inches to retain its OEM center of gravity. Otherwise, it'll ride like shit going over.
The shade tree mechanic.
So as you can see behind me, the build is going very well. We're almost finished, just got a few minor details to work out. The crew from the San Diego Jeep Club has done a fine job today on Alejandro's JL, and we're just about ready to take it down off the lift, put the wheels and tires back on it, and let him take a spin around the block. So thanks for watching. After refitting the wheels and the tires and torquing the lug nuts, put the Jeep on the ground under its own weight. With the weight settling the suspension, adjust and attach the axle sides of the track bars. It may be necessary to have helpers push sideways on the body to get the track bars to fit. Now measure from a fixed point in the wheel well to the outside edge of each tire to ensure that the axle is centered under the Jeep. Adjust the track bars, front and rear, until the axles are centered. Then tighten the track bars to spec.
Big ear-to-ear grin. Big thumbs up, Alejandro.
And out rolls the finished product for its first test drive around the block. Congratulations, Alejandro. And here are some photos of Alejandro's rig after he fitted a new set of larger tires. I'd say the project turned out very nicely. Wouldn't you agree? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment below. And if you haven't already done so, please click that subscribe button, as it means a lot to me and it helps to support the channel. Lastly, please follow 4Low Rocks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, happy wheeling!